Hey everybody, welcome to Real Estate for Introverts. My name is Marisa Lindsay. I'm your favorite introverted realtor here in Colorado Springs.
Oh, I'm your favorite introverted podcast co-host. Welcome.
Cheers. I'll cheers that.
Cheers.
So today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is masterminding and creating community.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so important. It creates what I'm finding. So as Real Estate for Introverts has become bigger and we have more and more people coming onto our group, what I'm finding is that the more people that are joining us, the energy is shifting in a super positive way.
Sure.
Do you feel that?
Oh yeah, like there is a rising tide, because it's like when you start, you kind of know, you can kind of touch everybody.
Right.
But then even those first level people have newbies come, and then those newbies have newbies.
Right.
And it's starting to get to that point where it's like, whoa, we're a couple generations deep here.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
It's
so crazy.
It's a weird phenomenon.
We're like coming up on 7,000 people right now, and it's just so wild to me. Anyway, with that energy, I feel like it's the same exact thing with your clients out in the field. Because as my groups grew back when I was finding clients and families to help with real estate, those groups, that energy that we got, the more people that we had, it created like almost like a culture. And what's another word that I can use for it? A culture, and like I almost feel like we had our own.
It's like a spirit of the group, right?
Right.
Spirit of the group. So it's like this cool thing that happens. Have you heard of the term collected effervescence?
No, what does that mean?
Okay, so have you ever been to a really cool concert and it's just like everybody's on the same wavelength and it almost feels spiritual? Like this idea of like this group has come together and this group of individuals has this transcendent energy about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could go more into the theological perspectives of that reality.
Rock stars?
I wasn't gonna get, we're rock. You're a rock star. You're a rock star. That's for sure.
No, but it's true.
But the rock stars, right? They get up on stage. They put that out there.
Yeah.
But the energy comes from the group, right? Yeah. It comes from that moment.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, okay, there's a reason why I'm talking about this. Because as we get bigger, starting off, as my groups grew bigger and I had more and more clients, come from those groups, the energy grew, it was freaking insane. And now we have the same thing happening with agents. And this is what we're trying to do. This is something that was only cultivated because of these social media groups and this growth with my social media footprint, right? And what I'm trying to say is like, you cannot replicate that through, really anything that people do now for lead generation.
Yeah.
You cannot create that momentum through door knocking. Mm-mm. You cannot do it through cold calling. I know I talk about those two all the time, so I'm going to go beyond that. You cannot do it even through community events because it's not enough touches. In order to create this energy, you need to be in front of people every single day. And that's why consistency is so important. And through that, I mean, you're able to create something that, I mean, I can't even really put words around it. So
yeah, it's like being a fan, like a sports fan, belonging to something bigger than yourself, right? You're creating this something that's bigger than themselves for people to be a part of. It's a team. You can call it a club, but like whatever that energy is that, causes people to be sports fans for life is what each and every person has the opportunity to create in their community.
Right. I wonder if we can take any take a page out of a sports team and apply it to these groups.
Yes.
No, I'm serious.
100%. Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns, they have the dog pound, right? Anyway, we'll have that conversation later. Like my mind is starting to go though, thinking about sports teams.
Well,
I'll
let you collect your mind, and I'll talk about energy, because it's like being an introvert, right? One of the ways you define an introvert is not necessarily somebody who's shy, but somebody who doesn't really get energy from interacting in those big groups. So what we want to help people do as introverts is find a way to build those social connections that actually give you energy. That is energy giving and receiving. So it's like, what fills your cup, what gives you energy? That's a hint into like where you should be pouring into, because it's going to pour back into you.
Right.
And so when you look at creating these groups or creating a sort of community, whether it's an online group, whether it's a mastermind, whether it's whatever it is, something that you can pour into that gives you that energy, that's what's going to light you up, and that's where you're going to find your niche.
Yeah, I agree. Mine is absolutely within the groups, but we have been dabbling in masterminds here in the Springs, and then we do the mastermind with the Real Estate for Introverts group on Mondays. What are we? So we have the Mastermind Mondays. And then on Fridays, we bring people to my house. We're going to need a bigger space because we're like pushing 25, 30 people now at this point with the people that come here. But it's creating like this movement of collective thought. And I think that's where I get my energy from.
Well, and I think it is because it's your people, right?
Right.
So it's like you put the message out there, you shine the light, and it's going to attract in your people. And, I think what, builds that bridge is the shared interest. It's like you don't have to fake it, feign it, try to get through a wall. It's like they're coming because they already like you. That trust is established. And now you don't have to do that weird small talk thing that extroverts seem to enjoy.
Don't like that at all.
No, right. So like the masterminds, I enjoy being around here. Now I don't have, too much to add as far as like the client interaction, like lead generation, but I love hearing the ideas, the technology, like that kind of stuff. It's good. There's a different energy in person when it's people who are collected together in a community.
Yep.
And so, I think what's important about what Real Estate for Introverts does is it teaches people to build communities no matter what the platform is.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is that with these masterminds that we're doing, I'm actually learning so much because like I do not have all the answers. None of us have all the answers. But I'm doing what works best for me, right? But with these masterminds, this is the best thing about real estate is that it's like a create your own adventure.
Yep.
And you can build your little business house. You can build your foundation using bits and pieces from everyone's ideas. So there's some people who really love AI.
Oh yeah. They're geeking out.
I get it. I don't love it because to me, the most important piece of my business is relationships. But for those people who don't have the time or who maybe...
Well, they have different goals, right?
Yeah, right?
They have different personalities. Like, I would say I'm more of a techie personality. Like, I want to stay behind the scenes, kind of. So in AI, of course she has me out here in front of the camera, that's fine. But it's like the AI approach, like somebody who gets stuck in words or stuck in copy or just like doesn't know what to say or doesn't know who their audience is. It's just a tool, but it's so cool to see how these people who are really like in it are utilizing that tool, because now you can say, oh, I'm a relationship person. How could I use AI just to help me build better relationships?
And it's wild what they can do now. It's so crazy. Like these people that come in and talk in my masterminds that are really good at this, I mean, they have a good handle on it and they're touching like thousands of people a day.
Right.
Like I still don't quite understand it, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then we had somebody who came in, we had a listings mastermind last week where we all printed out our listings and everything else. And we all provided feedback on each other's listings that were just sitting, because right now, homes in Colorado Springs, unless they're priced really well, they're just not moving right now. So to me, it was super important to bring everyone together and get feedback. But that's the beauty of having your own business, being an entrepreneur, is taking these little building blocks and pieces from people whom have done it well and then take that and put it into your business. And so that's what we're hoping to do here with you, is you don't have to use all of this, but use what you can. There is huge growth, and there's huge what is the word? There's opportunity.
Opportunity
To expand your social media footprints within your space through social media, if that's something that you're thinking. Whether it's Facebook groups like what we do, YouTube, which maybe you're watching on YouTube right now. I'm trying to flex in this space. It's slow going, but we'll figure it out. We will.
Sure.
I think we're on Spotify too, so you could do something on Spotify. What else are we doing? There's Instagram, all these things. Like, pick your flavor and drive it home. Make it your own.
And that's, I think, the point that we're trying to drive across here is that the principles and the fundamentals of like putting yourself out there in a way that feels comfortable for introverted people, that builds community and is either going to generate business by providing value, or it's going to generate that positive feedback that you have. And you can do it in a mastermind and talk about listings, right? Because you're giving some of your information, you're providing value, right? You're like giving that feedback on that post. But it's a community where there's trust established, so you can also listen to somebody give feedback on your listings.
Right.
In the same way, when you go into an online community, let's just take Facebook first. It's like when we ask ourselves, well, how am I supposed to provide value? Well, it's the same thing if you're walking into a mastermind. It's like, well, how can I help that person? What do I know, even if it seems kind of trivial, that they didn't know? And that's the beauty of like humankind.
Right.
It's like we can live in a community and actually help each other. We try to make it into this big thing. And it's cool seeing what that person then goes and does with that information. Like Marisa says, you know, a group has really made it when the members start contributing, right? And so when you have that community feel, that's the difference. And you can build it on YouTube with the replies in the comments, right? I mean, not our comment section yet, but get down there and you can read comment sections and just see these people, who live in a community.
Yeah. And that's what we're seeing more and more in the introverts group right now, which is totally crazy. But all this to say, like, if anybody is telling you that there is only one way to do business, that is totally wrong. Walk into any mastermind, any kind of real estate community online, and you'll see, like, interact with these people. Because I hear over and over and over again from people who join Real Estate for Introverts that they were told to do things one way, and that's the only way to do it, a one-size-fits-all type of approach to running your business. It's not even their business, it's your business. And it's just untrue. And so that's why I feel like what we're creating here with Real Estate for Introverts is a blending of people whom are in different business spaces and at different brokerages. Like, we're not saying that you have to be with a certain brokerage to be here or to learn from us. Not in the least.
Exactly.
We have extroverts who are in our group, which absolutely like shine light on what you do too, because we want to hear about it.
Right.
And so this collective of all these different people where the common theme is to pour into everyone else.
Right. And that's what good business is. It's like, what do you have to bring to the world, and like showing up in that way. And what I love about this approach is it really does level up whatever level of community you interact with, whether it's a one-on-one person or it's your online group or it's an in-person group. When you're bringing that, you're leveling up and giving, versus when you're cold calling or door knocking, it almost feels like you are taking and invading these pre-built communities.
Right.
And so I just think it's like, it has a beauty to it that really, like, I don't know, that I'm bought into, obviously, because I think it is not only good for the community, it's good for the individual, and it's going to be good for business, because people, like, that's the basic of human trade. It's like, you provide value, I'm happy to give you money. It's like, find people who are like, here, take my money, because like, wow, you're great. You're a great person. I enjoy interacting with you. And it's just like, you start from a place of giving rather than taking. And, you know, I know for me as an introvert, when I look at that cold call list, I'm just like, I feel like I'm interrupting, intruding, like just bothering people, instead of like, if I'm putting myself out there in a value proposition, I'm providing something I know people need, it's so much more comfortable. I find so much more comfort in that.
Yeah, same here. Oh my gosh, there's this dog outside right now that's barking. Can you? Hey everybody, I do live in a neighborhood that has noise, so if you guys hear dog barking, I'm so sorry. I have a neighbor who's...
We love the puppers.
We do. He's got something to say.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Perfect. So if you want to be the person who, you know, pours into a community and builds a community rather than invades and takes from a community, and this is like resonating with you, like we work hard to give stuff out on the podcast, in the group, the Mastermind Mondays, which are online. Feel free to join us, totally free. Like, just drop your email, we'll send you the invite. If you're in Colorado Springs or the area, you know, that's all totally free. It's like, we are trying, anybody who this resonates with, like, to give you the tools you need to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, because it's gonna make the world a better place. Like,
I feel like it's like a little grassroots movement.
It is, like, right? It is. And if we find the right people and you are that person in your community, like, you're gonna make a real impact. Like, and you don't have to be the person, you know, making 1,000 phone calls a week to make that happen and to make sustainable life for your business and your family and your community.
I love our little community. So we also have a Real Estate for Introverts Insiders group
That's
now
right.
too.
Yep.
And I've started to post my posts in my actual groups, and I'm breaking them down with exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yep.
And why my post was effective or maybe ineffective, because I do have those too. I'm still like figuring things out. So I've started that. That one is a pay for group, but it's only $30 a month. It just, like, because I'm so busy now, I'm back into the real estate market. It just keeps something coming in since I take time to pour into people.
And it's just invaluable. You want those examples that she's posting, like honestly, if you learn how to have a voice or find a voice, it is just such a gift. Like $30, that's...
Well, I had somebody who actually took my post verbatim and posted it in their group. And then she sent it to me, and it had like all these comments and likes. And she's like, obviously you know what you're doing. And I'm like, girl, take it and run until you figure out your voice.
Maybe like, change it up a little more. But
no, it was verbatim. It was, like, word for word. But it worked. Yeah. And she's like, okay, I get it. And then someone else, they sent me a message. What they had done was, I made a post and I shared it in the group about how I was talking down about real estate agents who don't use professional photographers. Right. And it was all these terrible iPhone pictures that really did not show the room. It looked like the room was like 4x4, like 16 square feet. Yeah. And you just couldn't get a feel for the space because you can't do that when you're taking photographs with an iPhone. And so I had posted about that in one of my groups, and then I shared it on the Real Estate for Introverts Insiders group. And she took that idea, posted it in her mom's group, and it was this huge thing. Everybody was talking about it, and it created great traction. Yep. And it was like, it also subtly tells people, I don't take pictures like this for my listings. Right. And I'm a realtor, but like, let's make fun of people in my industry for a second, right? I think it's a way to set yourself apart. Right. And she's breaking it down like this right here for you guys, but she does this every day in the group. Every day. And so it's like being an athlete, right? If you're a new athlete, you're trying to learn, you watch people who are better than you. And like watching them take reps helps you then try to do exactly what they do until you reach a level where you can find your voice and be creative in that. And so it's just a chance to really go to professional practice
every day, watch a professional, like somebody who's super talented, do their thing and learn from the best. It is truly an insider look. Like, I can't think of any other people who allow such an intimate look at what they're actually putting out there, because it's risky. Like, you could make a post that sucks, and then, you know, like, man, it's like you're just being your real self and teaching other people how to do it along the way.
Well, for me, it's such an easy thing. I can take a look at a post and I know in 2 seconds, like someone else's, and I'm like, I know why this didn't work. Like, and I can see exactly where they messed up. And so for me, it's so easy. So for me to just show you exactly what it looks like, you cut and paste that and just like change the words around a little bit and make it your own until you find your voice, is something that I think works for people, especially those who have the paralysis analysis and don't want to make the post.
No, what helped me in your post you're talking about, what she did was she said, look, I could have taken these same pictures and said this, and it was like the typical real estate blurb. Just another closing, you know, so happy for my families. If you need something, you know, be sure to hit me up. And I'm like, that's exactly what 99% of people say. And she's like, instead of that, here's what I did. And it was like, oh. So it was like, which, you know, I've had a lot of teaching and learning education, but to see it directly and be like, it's not this, it's this, like, so to see those examples, to be like, yeah, that's exactly what I would have tried to write when I went and wrote it. It's sign up, join the group. Like, you can cancel at any time. Like, come and take a look and see what's in there. It's really valuable, I think. And it's going to
be a fun space.
We have one more product, which actually, as of this podcast today, we would have just finished our 10-day challenge, which we're going to do it again. So if you missed out this time, be sure to join us next time. But it is a step-by-step 10-day challenge where one day, this is going to help me. I'm excited because I am a analysis paralysis person, and I get stuck overthinking, optimizing. What could I do? What if, you know, I say something wrong or it's not good enough? Like, I want it to be good enough. And so this is a 10-day challenge to take those little baby steps. And it's like, okay, step 1, what should I call my group? Step 2, who are my people? How do I name the group to attract my people? How do I build a Facebook group? And it's like each step along the way, we're going to do, you know, we're going to have a community around it. We're going to be giving each other ideas. Like, you're going to be building a page alongside everybody
at the same time, just to show you guys what I'm doing and why it works or why it maybe won't work, but something that we can do together.
So yeah.
And I think that, because I hear this all the time, like, I just need to create the group. If you're a part of a challenge, you're just going to do it.
That's right. Well, and take Lisa's advice from last week. She just signed a, you know, waiver that said we could use her name. So just do it. Like, don't wait. Like, go ahead, get started, start laying that groundwork and find your way. So yeah. Cool.
All right.
Great.
We'll let you know how it goes. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Yes. And if we can be of any service to you, you want us to talk about something, let us know. We want to help.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.